Hello, thank you for joining me. Welcome to this analysis on Alien World, also known as TLM token. Now, if you know TLM token, you will know that it was listed April, and since April 2021 to this time, the price has done nothing but dump, and it dumped from 5.9 area where it opened all the way to 0.017. That is really a long dump, right? You might ask let's say 0.02, right? This dump, since this dump happened, TLM has been struggling. And today I'm here to update you what is likely going to happen next on TLM using Bitcoin Gorilla box strategy. Now, this is a pure price action strategy. If you are new to trading, don't worry, you will understand everything I'm going to do and say in this analysis, because I am not going to use any indicator. It's zero indicator. I'll be using just two tools, that is the trend lines and the rectangular box. That is all I'll be employing in this analysis, and me and you together, we are going to be able to predict what next is likely going to happen to TLM. If TLM is at a good price to start buying TLM, or you should exit if you're already in the trade, or what price should you expect to start buying. Now, I remember Bitcoin Gorilla. If you've not subscribed, you don't want to miss beautiful analysis like this. And if you do find my analysis quite interesting, trust me, you want to subscribe so that anytime I post analysis, you'll be the first person to come to my analysis and watch with me, especially every day when I'm dropping altcoin daily. So the next coin might be the next coin in your portfolio. You can never tell. So let's jump right straight into it. The first thing I want to do is find the support and resistance. Don't forget to give us a like if this analysis end up being very interesting to you. So that is my first support and resistance area. That is another one. And I can state this one obviously right there. And there's one right here, and there's a mini one right here. Now, I must warn you, this is a new coin, and you can see the data is literally very small. So the data we are working with is very small. This chart is weekly chart. So majority, because it's a little data and we really have less support and resistance to work with, I'll be working more with the daily chart. But before I start, I want to contain all the drama that has happened since the coin went live on exchanges, and it starts from here and it dump right to this point, right? So that is all the drama, and thank you for staying to this point. So we're going to go to the daily chart. Now this is the daily chart, and it's going to, so this analysis we might probably be working with daily chart and 4 hours chart. The reason being that it is a new coin. We literally don't have much data on the higher time frame like the weekly or the monthly chart. If I take this to the monthly chart, is a whole entire scarcity you're going to see. Just couple of candles, right? It's just couple of candles. This is why we need to work with daily 4 hours. Now, if you follow most of my analysis, I always draw my analysis on higher time frame like the weekly chart. But this particular one, we are forced to base on daily and 4 hours chart. So I can tell you there's another hidden support right here. There's a hidden support right there. So this is what the daily chart looks like. So let's change the color to probably blue to not get us confused with the biggest box that we draw on the weekly. So now let's start looking for the resistance and support of this daily chart. And I can tell you the resistance and support area is quite here. And we're going to change the color of that resistance and support. Let's use red. Okay, pink. All right. And now the resistance. Now let's move this a little. I like paying attention to details to leave nothing to chances. This is crypto. Every details of the chart is important. So this is the resistance and support of this current chart, right? Now, mind you, we have less data to work with. We have less data to work with. What does this tell me? this support, this resistance is supposed to be here. It tells me that I need one more box because I can see another drama that I can contain right here. I can tell you this one should be here. Yes. Then this next box should be here. Good. Perfect. 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 But I think more this should be here. It is when we're drawing the resistance, we know it's extended because the resistance is a bit extended in this particular situation. Let's use green. So the resistance is a bit extended. Let me extend it so it doesn't confuse us. The resistance and support is a bit extended. Right. That is the resistance. So this is the support. This is the support. Now you can see, if you've been watching my analysis, this chart looks a lot different. And I keep telling you, this is why you have to draw every chart. And don't put in your mind that what Bitcoin showed you is what another coin is going to show you. Every price has its data and you should draw it separately. Now we're going to start. In my analysis, I am fair, and I because I understand that the game of crypto, as well as every other market that has to do with price, is a game of probability. Why do I say it's a game of probability? It's a game of 50-50. How? There are two sides to this coin. Just like you have up and down, left and right, you have buyers and sellers. These are the two sides that make price move, right? And it's like a polarization. Look at this chart, look at the buyers and sellers of every market as a polarization. Left and right, negative and positive, up and down, just two sides, which means the consideration you give the buyers should be the same equal consideration you give the sellers. So don't be biased in your analysis. I am never biased in my analysis, and this is why I love this um box strategy, because it helps me to avoid getting attached to one side. So I know as trading crypto that if the bull market made me money, I will find myself forcing myself, I'll find myself actually attracting to buy, right? More every time I want to go to my chart, I'll find myself going for a buy. It means I'm biased about my analysis because the market could be showing me a dump, and I will not consider the dump because all my mindset is that the buy made me money the previous time. I should go for a buy. Meanwhile, the analysis is pointing sell. Whatever I'm doing is pointing sell. This is why you must have the right mindset from the very beginning, that you must know that this game is a game of probability, and this is why you must learn how to use a stop loss. It is the stop loss that stops you from getting loss a lot. Now, the stop loss does not guarantee you that you are not going to lose money. Instead, it saves you from dying in the accidents and instead have a scratch, right? It's like having a let's say a bulletproof, right, in your car. The bulletproof does not guarantee that someone cannot kill you. It only means that you might probably save you at certain point. This is what stop loss is, and you must understand the mindset of using a stop loss. The stop loss doesn't stop you from taking a loss, it only minimizes the loss and only gives you a bruises or a scratch instead of you blowing up the entire account or losing so much money that you are stuck in the market. So always implement stop loss. Now back to this analysis. That is why I told you first before starting this analysis. The next thing I want to tell you is if we are going to consider first, I'm going to consider the two side, and I will tell you at the end what I think is going to happen. If you look at this market, you see that the buyers have successfully respected the buyers line here, two, and this is the third time, right? Now here they escape a touch. There's a little gap, so that is why they had to come and touch it here, right? So we have three touches. Now there's one thing about the number of touches that has hit a bias line or a bias area or a support. It is how many times a bias support is hit will determine if the support is going to break. Too many hits on a support will break a support. You must know when a support is about to break. Now, mind you, if you want to learn all of this, you can come to Makaveli Traders, right? And I will train you on how to use my strategy. This is the Bitcoin Gorilla box strategy. I will teach you how to use it. I'll give you 3 months intensive training on Zoom. Then you're going to trade with me for the rest of my life till probably I leave this planet, right? So I'm not after your money. The only thing you need is access to getting, right? Because the reason why we have to put access to getting is a lot of people, when we started, it was free. We still have a free channel till now, right? A free group you have to join. You want to join. If you want the free channel, I'm going to leave the link here below this video. Now we have a free channel. We started it free, but a lot of people took it for granted, and we decided to move it to a VIP where you need to get access to join us, right? Now, this, what do you get as an advantage of joining us? You get advantage like trading with me for the rest of my life. I'm a high leverage trader. I trade 125x and I had nothing. I share all my trade in the house. If I'm in a trade, I tell you I'm in a trade. I share my entry with you. I tell you why I'm exiting a trade. This includes futures, spot, depending on what you're trading. We have different membership for your style, right? Of trading. I trade everything. I'm a 125x trader. I share my trade with you. I share my result and my loss with you. And at the same time, remember, we are learning during daily. Crypto is still new, and a lot of us, including myself, is learning daily, and I'm improving on these strategies that I've built. This is one reason why you just want to join Makaveli Trader, because for the rest of my life, whatever I learn, I impart to you free, and you will be with me. All you need is that access to get in. So let's get back into the trade. So like I said, I have 3 touches right here, right? You see this price is likely going to react and make a bounce, right? How far is going to bounce is now the issue, right? The issue here is this must not come back to this. And if they do, they need to maintain this line, because anything that breaks below this line is definitely going to seek this support right here. 0.149 is going to seek this support. But one thing I do see for sure is when it seeks this support, it's likely, definitely, I do see it an attack. Now, I said I'm considering the bulls first, right? So let me not talk about the support first. Let me talk about the chances of the high side, because the chances are more on the high side. You're going to see this bounce and like this, right? Now, there's a mini resistance here. You might not see it, but that is the middle of my channel. Let me put it right there. It's good to consider every aspect, right? That is where we're going to get the first reaction, right? And this reaction could pull us back to this point, and we could get another attempt on this 0.56, right? This point. Now, depending on the pressure, I really don't see this breaking this easily or instantly. It might take a while, but if they continue, they could have a pullback and then attempt the next resistance. If they can't, then they will come back right here, right? This is the first move that the bulls could take. That is only if they never return to this point, right? They never go below 1 point. This is only going to play out if the sellers never push the buyers below 1.5. The sellers cannot push the buyers below 1.5 at maximum. So let's say something happened. I like being open-minded, and this is the tip of the resistance. I always believe, just like here, when it arrived the tip of the resistance, you see it coming to the bottom, right? You see it again coming this time around. Now, if they respect this line, good and fine, we continue the journey that they have started. But the chances are more there that they could come this point, make a double bottom and move up. The resistance is here, right? Don't forget the middle resistance that was here. I talked about that, right? So you must consider every resistance. The reason is we are in a sideways market. We are in a consolidation, and consolidation is found of doing this move, right? Now, this is the reason why I will tell you that this is the first touch. This is the second touch, right? This is the second touch, right? Now, which happened here? Second touch. This is the second. I'm talking about the up. This is okay. Let's start with this. This is one. This is two. This is three. In terms of the up move, right? That is what I'm considering in terms of up, right? But somehow they have found themselves back, even after breaking the previous resistance, they have fallen back into it. Now, a lot of people might call this a retest. Yes, it's a retest. But how far can a retest go? A retest can go deeper than you think, right? So a retest can go as deep at this point. I do see TLM taking a worse dive in the now. The major thing that we cause this retest to proceed to this point, the major thing that will cause this retest to proceed to this point is Bitcoin. Now, when Bitcoin dump, a lot of coin react to it. So if Bitcoin really takes another dive down, it could affect it to get to this point. That's 0.09. And here's my advice. My advice is to put a stop loss here where price is, depending on your entry around 1.8, right? Or if you are scared of that because you didn't enter your stop loss early, it's always good to set stop loss immediately you are entering a trade. And mind you, you can use stop loss manually. Even if you're on spot, I hear a lot of people complain to me, I'm on spot, I don't know how to set stop loss on spot. Yes, you can set stop loss on spot manually. If you don't know and you want to learn, please come to Makaveli Trader. I'm going to teach you. A little breaking of this support, you are out. Why? You will wait to buy it cheaper here or here. It happened just last week and you see coin recovering, right? It's a good way of not missing the opportunity to buy it cheaper, right? So this is why stop loss will help you break the losses short. So if you are in this position, if you enter a position here, chances of it holding to this point is high, right? But I think for now, if you're on a long term, if you are investing it for like 6 months or above, I think your stop loss should be around this point. The reason is within this 6 months time, depending on how Bitcoin works, TLM could react and come to this point. But chances of TLM actually recovering to this point is also very high. The reason is this sideways market, and you can see they have been respecting the buyer's line. This is the reason why the first thing I considered was the buyers before considering the sellers. Now, if the sellers found their way to push TLM down low, then TLM could see 0.07. Now, the thing I see about this whole drama is this. At this point, if TLM does not hold this point, then you exit. But if they hold this point, then it's okay to buy little and little and little. No, sorry. I mean, if they hold this point, please don't get me wrong. This point, that is around 1.0. No, that's around 0.15. If they're able to hold 0.15 area, then prices will likely bounce up, right? The reason is it becomes a stop loss hunt. How do they do this stop loss hunt? Let me tell you the gist of what these market makers could plan on TLM and how stop loss hunt could work and clear a lot of people who actually bought it not far, right? Here's what I see stop loss hunt coming. The stop loss hunt is going to come to hurt all those who have been buying from this point. It's going to clear these people. It's going to clear all the people buying here, right? How? By price dropping to this point. When price drop to this point, it means market makers, the whale cleared all those who bought here, and who bought here. Why? They will make a double bottom. And me and you know what double bottom means. Double bottom means the market will move like this, and back up, right? And back all the way up. All the way up. So if this looks like a double bottom, then we're going to have something that looks like this and all the way up, because double bottom always look like this, right? To get the same top that it got here. That's how double bottom works. So you can see that double bottom plan could play out. So be very careful about stop loss hunt. If you're on a long term, if you intend to hold TLM for a long term, I think you should put TLM stop loss probably above around 0.08 area. If anything kicks you out, you are out. But I think that stop loss hunt could play out. So be very aware of that stop loss hunt playing out. TLM is good for a long-term investment. I do see a future of TLM going back to that $6 to $4 range in the future. If you do find this video quite interesting, remember this is not a financial advice. Do your diligent what analysis and research before buying into TLM. But the future is bright for TLM because TLM could return to what $4 and above. Thank you for watching, and I remain Bitcoin Gorilla. Subscribe if you find it entertaining.